Okay, so I'm Mike. I moved from Raglan out to Raglan from Hamilton back in May. About 6 weeks before the move, thought I'd better find a relocation company. So I went on the website. I like to use the website for that sort of thing. Found two movers who had online forms. So duly filled them in. Within about an hour or so, I think Crown was back to me to check up on my details and to give me a quote. Which they gave a confirmed quote. They checked the date that I'd put in and said that was all go. I told them I wanted to hear back from the other company before I went ahead, so I waited. And I waited about 3 or 4 days, I think, before the other company didn't reply, and I got back to them to get a response from them. So in the end, their quote wasn't any better than Crown, but the service certainly didn't seem to be as good, so I decided we'd go with Crown. So right from the start, it was a really good experience with Crown. They were really good, keeping me informed, building up to the move. So a couple of weeks before, they phoned me to check that everything was still go. And then a few days before, again, just confirmed the time the guys would be there. 8 o'clock in the morning, 2 guys turned up with the truck, all ready to go. We were a bit worried because it looked like rain, so the guys made a pretty good, smart work at getting everything wrapped up, and that was pretty impressive to have all our lounge suite and our table and our beds and mattresses all wrapped up in plastic. Loaded up the truck, and we made a bit of a mistake. I'd forgotten to say that we had a spa pool that we needed to move out to Raglan as well. So the guys got on the phone, phoned up the office, and there were 3 guys, the manager of the local branch and a couple of other guys from the office, came out in the car, helped us to load the spa onto the back of the truck, and they put it into storage for a couple of days until they get a couple of more bodies to bring it out for us. So again, it was really impressive that, you know, it was something we hadn't planned for, and Crown just kind of solved the problem for us. And it was the 2 guys on the ground who did that. By the time we got out to Raglan, the rain had started to set in, and it had been after a period of about 6 months with no rain, and suddenly it was pouring down. And our front yard, which is a bit of a building site, was just a mud bath. But the 2 guys got the truck as close as they could and unpacked everything in the pouring rain, mud everywhere, but they laid down tarps, brought the stuff in, took it as far as they could, then took their boots off and carried it the rest of the way. So there wasn't any mess, despite the fact it was just horrible conditions outside. It was about a 10-hour job, so it was pretty full on. The guys had 1 lunch break and a couple of tea breaks. So, but they just worked. They just went for it. You know, I could see by the end of the day they were both pretty stuffed. But we were just so impressed. The whole service, the whole package from woe to go was just awesome.